Hey all, Hipper here. So it finally happened. It's been a while, but I finally managed to hit 10 million elite XP in Atago. And actually, this ship has been sitting at 9,900,000 something for about a year. I think I just haven't really been feeling Atago lately, so I haven't really played it much. But then today I thought, okay, I'll just grind the last 50,000 or whatever it was. So there it is. And I picked the actual battle that got me over 10 million here. At least I think that's it. I'm having trouble remembering, but I think that's the one. Anyway, let's just have a look at my build here, because I'm using Mikawa, and for this one I actually have Baltimore and Takao. I usually have Müller, sorry, in this spot here, but for some reason I just left Takao on, don't know why. I must have been playing around, just forgot about it. So like I said, I usually have Müller in this spot here, but not today. So on the ship I have the improved traverse speed, and then I have rudder, not big surprise there, and rudder again, and then I have the improved reload. I don't have the so-called improved torpedoes on this ship. I like my 10 kilometer. So 1.8 rudder and 40 knots. But I usually have the Müller build where I have 2-second rudder and 42 knots, something like that. I like that better. A little bit more speed on Atago. Atago is good. So we're here on Land of Fire, and I don't really like this map here much. The only good thing about it is that the spawns are far apart, so you don't really get incoming crossfires until at least like a few minutes into the battle. But other than that, I find it a pretty boring battle, especially the sea cap over here, because all those low islands, they just invite kind of like a trench warfare where the ships sit there and just wait for the others to make a mistake, which there's nothing wrong with, but it just doesn't make for very exciting gameplay, I think. And the cap is totally open, so unless you're a smoke cruiser, you're going to have a hard time getting in there and taking out destroyers and making it out alive again, which is a shame, because it means that before the cruisers can really head into the cap itself, I mean, you can sit right outside it like this, but heading in there, that's pretty much destroyer territory, at least early in the battle. Again, another thing that makes this map here, and particularly this spawn here, a little bit boring. At least a spawn, and I'm stuck here, I'm trying to get loose. At least a spawn on the other side, cruisers can actually head into the cap and expect to survive. But here on the seaside, it doesn't really work out too well usually. So like I said, unless you have smoke, then yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's better just to sit here just at the periphery of the cap, and then if you have radar, use it, and if you have a good sonar, use it. I mean, Atago has pretty standard sonar, so nothing really amazing, so I can't cover the whole cap. And you can see there's the DD trying to take it, but no one is pushing in, so I'm deciding, okay, I'll try from the other side of the cap, because I don't want to push into that many enemies there, because that's not going to work out well. I'm going to have to wait until the battleships actually do something, because there's no way I can even approach these guys here. I really want to get in there, and I really want to take out the destroyer in the cap, but without some sort of support, I'm just gonna get ruined going in there. So and you can see, as soon as I'm spotted, I get like incoming fire from everywhere, and it would be nice if the battleships moved up a little bit and took some of the fire off me, because like I said, I cannot get in and get that destroyer there until I have at least a little bit of backup. So I'm going to switch over to the other side of C and see if perhaps there's a better option over there. And then in the meantime, I'm kind of hoping that my battleships might actually take up some forward positions, because as it is now, this is just going to turn into one of those trench warfare things that I hate. And because we don't have a destroyer on this flank here, we are at a disadvantage. And I don't have a radar, so I cannot spot the destroyer from out here, and with that many reds, I cannot head in there to unmask him. So it's kind of a go nowhere situation, this one here. And I'm still looking at my battleships, and none of them are really making any moves, and I'm just tanking the whole team for them. So I'll just decide that this is a waste of time. I am going to go to B cap instead and defend that from the Scharnhorst that's heading in there, as you can see on the map. And you can see everybody's shooting at me. So if I stick around over here, I'll just get sunk. So until the battleships move up and actually tank a little bit of damage, then I'm not interested. So they had their chance. It's been nearly 5 minutes and they haven't moved. So yeah, time to go. And of course, the moment I decide to leave them, they suddenly cannot wait to rush into the cap and get torped. And it's just too bad I'm committed here. I'm going to defend this B cap here because it's simply a better use of my time here. So those battleships will just have to duke it out over there. There's 4 of them on that flank. So we need someone in here to defend B, because otherwise this Scharnhorst here is just going to drive up the middle of the map and start being a real nuisance. So this battle here is pretty much, well, you know the result beforehand, because like burning down a Scharnhorst in an Atago is pretty easy. So I am starting to think about where the other destroyer is, because he's not over at A and he's not over at C. So that's also what I was thinking about before. He must be here somewhere around B. So if we can just get rid of this Scharnhorst here so I can actually turn in, we might be able to actually find him. But of course I don't know exactly where he is, and like I said, I don't have a radar. So I only have a sonar, so I'm not really that much better equipped than most battleships here. Which is a shame in Atago, but what can you do? Of course, this ship would be totally overpowered if it had a radar or a hyper sonar or something like that. So I understand why it doesn't. But still, I would like to have something new for Atago. I mean, I've had the same build for pretty much as long as the ship has been out, which is, I don't know, 2 years now, maybe a little bit more. And of course, yeah, I have a new inspiration in Azure Lane Baltimore, but that's it. That's the only thing that's changed since I got the ship. And I've played 2,500 battles in it now, 10 million Elite XP, and I still run Mikawa. So I know we got the Azure Lane Atago commander, but she's not really my style. I think you give up too much for that extra fire chance, and I don't really need fire chance in this ship. I think it's fine. So now the Scharnhorst is dead and someone's still capping. That means that destroyer is here. So what I was thinking before was right. He is somewhere around here. So we have the sonar ready, and we're just gonna go full steam in here and see if we can't block him from capping this this area here. If we can't, that's fine. We'll just chase him out, kill him if we can, and then of course cap afterwards. So we don't want this destroyer here going up the middle of the map just like the Scharnhorst tried to do, because that'll put everybody on the flanks in crossfire. And of course we don't want anyone to take this cap either, because we already lost the A cap, no, the C cap, sorry. So that one's lost, and that was well defended. So we'll come back to that one later when it's just a better time. So the sonar is on, and the Benham has been spotted here. I think it's 4.4 kilometer radius on Atago sonar, which is okay, but when you're used to Hipper at 5.6, it takes a little bit longer to to see these destroyers here. So he's gone, and we'll just use the fast rudder to evade. And also always keep an eye on battleships here, because I didn't actually know this Iowa was firing, but I was sure someone on this flank would be shooting at me. So that's why I turned more than I strictly had to avoid the torpedoes, because at the same time I was thinking there must be incoming fire coming, which there was. So yeah, this just something you learn as you go along, basically. So the reason I don't pick the so-called upgraded torpedoes, I mean, they are faster, yes, but I like the 10-kilometer range a lot. Not for so much like actual torping ships, but for area denial. I think it's very important to be able to cover a whole cap with like the 2 launchers you have on your side. With 8 kilometers, you pretty much have to be almost inside the cap. But with 10-kilometer torp, you can like stay at a safer distance and still get 8 deadly torpedoes in there. So I think that's way more useful. And I still think, well, Atago got ripped off when every other cruiser got 1 second less rudder shift, and Atago got these torpedoes. So here first I'm putting a wide spread to make the Nelson turn, and then I'm putting the tight spread where I think he'll turn in, because I'm kind of expecting him to try to turn into the torpedoes in the wide spread, and then I put the short spread where I think he'll turn in. So that's a good way of doing it. Like, it means that you're probably not going to hit anything with your first spread, but then on the other hand, the second spread is almost a guaranteed hit. So as you can see here, he's doing exactly what I thought. He's trying to fit his ship in, and then the next spread there is 3 hits. So yeah, that works really well. But like I said, you're probably not going to hit anything with the first spread. So if you miss with the second, then yeah, but I like it. I think it works well in some situations, like a situation like that. So we have an amagi left now, and if you watch this channel, you know I hate amagis in Atago, because that is pretty much the only battleship that will just punish you no matter what you do. If you get hit by a shell, it's gonna hurt, and it's probably gonna citadel you. I don't know what it is with amagi, but it's just so deadly to especially Atago. Yeah, don't know. Other than the fact that it has like 16-inch guns and it has 10 of them, so I mean it's a pretty nasty broadside. But yeah, and also the dispersion is just really good on that ship, so it's hard to fit your cruiser in between the shells, and also the actual shell flight speed seems to be a lot faster than other battleships. And you can see he's just waiting for me. He's sitting there broadside with all his 10 guns aiming at exactly my direction, and luckily I'm not spotted, so otherwise I wouldn't have come out from that corner there. But I'm just gonna get a little bit closer and see if I can't get within torp range, because he is full health, so it's going to take a long time to burn this guy down, so I'd like to get a little torpedo help here. I really have no idea how that guy managed to get this. Like, we had 3 minutes left of the battle, and it looks like before I hit him before, he hadn't taken a single hit. Pretty amazing. So, got a fire on him there, and I'm just trying to determine when he'll fire. Because like I said, this guy is dangerous. I actually fear it more than Yamato or any of the legendaries. And I don't know why it is, but it's just... See that dispersion there? It's so hard to find a place to fit your cruiser in, but luckily I was able to do it there. But usually that is it's difficult. I don't know what. I guess it's a mix of dispersion and just the pure shell speed, because you have very little time to actually look at the shells in flight. I don't know. Ask Wargaming, I guess. So I'm hoping one of these torpedoes here will give me a good notch on him, and it did. So that helped a lot. So we have him down to half health now. So and he's on fire. So it's a lot easier now. And there's still a destroyer somewhere, but I don't know what he's doing. He seemed like he was doing really well in the beginning, because he was the guy inside C and like keeping me from like getting in there. But then after he took C, he just seemed to go to the edge of the map and just sit there, which is fine. Yeah, I have no problem with that. But who knows? So anyway, we are getting to the end of the battle here, and this amagi has lost interest in me, because he would like to sit broadside onto my battleship instead, which is his choice, I guess. But we do get the kill. I guess it's 50-50. I think we did about half each damage to that guy, so I don't consider it a steal. So going to see if we can find that last annoying destroyer and see if we can't just finish this off with a Kraken here. So like I said, I need something new to happen with Atago. Either we get a new premium commander or some kind of new upgrade for the ship, or alternatively we get the Tone class or the actual Takao cruiser or something like that. Something needs to happen because there's not really any interesting Japanese cruisers in the game other than Atago, and it has been like that for a long time, years. I would also be happy with a new legendary, the Sao or something like that, but judging from what Wargaming says, it'll be a while before we get that. So a new premium Takao or something like that. So here's the Kraken opportunity. So we get all 10 guns fired at him, and let's see how many actually hit here. So we get 3 penetrations, and that's not enough. So he disappears off the map, and we are 1 Kraken poorer, but whatever, still did pretty well. So we had 4 kills, 142,000 damage, and we did solo cap as well, didn't we? I think so. Yes, we did. And how much XP did we get? Oh, we got a high caliber as well, and then we got 3,500 XP. So pretty good game all over. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.